Hey there, welcome back to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. It's Melissa. We're in rural Southeast Ohio, USA, and we're on Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube, and we're glad that you're here. We're going to go into the hen house today. So we're recording on October 9th, 2023. I don't think we'll upload this one until about October 11th, 2023, but just want to take a look at our egg production flock. And I think we have a couple gals molting in here, so we'll talk about molting for just a little bit and show you their nest boxes and show you their feed setup and ask some questions, get some feedback from y'all, some of your opinions. So here we go. On our way in, I've actually already been in to check eggs. So here's a basket of some of our eggs that we got today. And most of them are brown, you know, like this one. And this is a legitimate representation of what eggs look like when they come out of a hen house. There's usually a little bit of stuff on them that needs cleaned off, a little bit of staining maybe. This one's just dusty. That's easy to wipe off. But we've got some beautiful eggs in here. Down in there, clear down in the bottom, y'all probably can't see it. There is a white one, comes from the beautiful leghorn hens, and this one's a pale green. We've got some couple of layers that lay those, and we've actually got an Americana, I believe an Americana, that lays a beautiful baby blue egg, and she's actually been in molt. There's our lavender Orpington. She tends to lay a real light brown egg, and we've got another a black Orpington. She tends to lay a real light brown egg. This is the one, they usually go for the camera when I get that close to them. This is one of the ones that lays the beautiful green eggs. So we have two of those gals. There actually is the Americana, this black one here with some brown feathering. And she has been in molt. She is coming out of molt. So we're getting one of those baby blue eggs from her about every other day. So it's been, I don't know. I didn't really quantify it on a calendar as far as how long it's taken her to start to come out of molt, but she dropped a lot of feathers, and she actually has beautiful side tufts that come out of the side of her cheeks of feathering, and she doesn't have those grown back in yet. So these are Isa Browns that we have in this flock. There's actually 36 hens. There's the other one that lays the beautiful green eggs. The white one there, that's a leghorn. We have two hens like that. That's a hen. They lay those beautiful white eggs. I know they're white eggs, and everybody, like farm fresh, you think of brown eggs, but those white eggs that they lay are really beautiful. So that's an old water. That's a really old water that we have. I don't like it as well as our plastic waters, but it does get the job done. Holds about 3 gallons for them. There's this beautiful black chicken. We have 2 of these, and we've had some feedback from viewers helping us try to identify what they are. I really don't know what breed they are. So 36 birds are in this coop. Here's their feeder, y'all. It's a nice long feeder. This was a handmade, handcrafted kind of feeder. And the top here, usually they let me right in there. The top here spins. Of course, that's to discourage them from trying to roost on that. So we just feed our girls a layer mash. This is a house mix from the local feed mill. We get all of our chicken resources at our favorite feed mill, Beverly Feeding Equipment in Beverly, Ohio, because we're in the southeast part of Ohio in the United States of America. Down there at the end is a flock block. And I do like to keep one of these in there, in the pen. I'm not saying this applies to every flock, but something I've observed about us keeping a flock block in here is that when I don't have one, I tend to have a couple of eggs each day that have a crack where like a hen has pecked that egg. When I have flock blocks in here, we don't have that problem. We usually keep one here and one back in the corner, so we'll be adding a second one. So there was that Americana, and I was telling y'all she is coming out of molt, and I actually just saw, so here's another hen. This is one of our little Isa Browns. She's going into molt. We've recently seen her start to drop. start to drop a lot of her feathers. So, you know, I've read that that's somewhat uncomfortable for them. Oh, and there's two right together. They're both in molt. You stinker. So I've read that molt is somewhat uncomfortable for chickens, and that it can be kind of painful, like to handle them when they're in molt, and it can make it harder for those feathers to grow back in, because molting is basically like dropping their old feathers and replacing them with new feathers. So, you know, it's almost kind of like swapping out a jacket for a coat in a way. When they replace those feathers, it typically happens, you know, in the fall, which that's what season it is, fall leading into winter. So it's basically the bird's way of getting ready for winter. And we do live in a cold climate, but I suppose molting happens to chickens everywhere, you know, occasionally, because it is the body's way of like kind of a refresh, you know. So there's the white one. What's she doing? So there's these two that are, oh, and so on that note, I had said, so, oh, and there's the two black ones right together. They are so pretty. It's so unique about them that they are, they're black everywhere. Their coloring is consistent everywhere. They have the black comb and black wattles and black legs. And like, for example, we've got a nice dark hen over here, and she has a red comb and red wattles. So I'm believing that this is probably a black Orpington. And I think she was going down there. They like to nest in this corner. Okay, so anyway, I've tried to get to this same question twice now, so third time's a charm. So when I was saying about molting, like it's something they do like to get ready for winter. So that leaves the question, do only hens molt? Do only hens molt, or do all chickens molt, including roosters? And so my understanding and what I've observed is that all chickens molt, including roosters. So even the roosters are not exempt, you know, because it's a natural biological process. The body is getting ready for a change in the natural environment. And they're synced into that with a circadian rhythm, basically. So looking at these hens, though, age-wise, when do we see molt? So these hens actually, they're actually only coming up on a year old. They were November of 2022 hens, and so it's October of 2023. So numbers on this flock I was sharing with you, there are 36 in this flock. One of them is a rooster, so 35 laying hens, and we typically do get over 2 dozen eggs a day out of this flock, sometimes right at just 24 eggs, but anywhere from 24 to 30. So you're seeing a behavior here where this hen apparently seems to want in that box, or she wanted that one out. I don't know if she'll go on in, but so there's no egg in there. I'm wondering if this hen wants in there. So we'll cut to that. So she's actually not going to, and I can tell you, this hen that the camera's on has already laid her egg today. So it's interesting that she forced that dark hen out of the box. But I also can tell you this dark hen is broody, and she has been camping out in the nest boxes. And in fact, when I check eggs, I have to lift her out of the nest boxes because she is usually setting on 6 to 8 eggs in there. So maybe she's just like putting the smack down on her, like, we're not going to do that. I don't know. So they have a pecking order. They got to get along. They work it out. But I'm not really concerned that she's broody. She's not causing us an issue. There's other places for the other chickens to nest. There are techniques we could use to discourage the broodiness, or we could opt to separate her and get her some fertilized hatching eggs. We're not going to do either. We're just going to let her remain in the flock, and it'll run its course. So I'm not concerned. I do love this little gray hen. So back on the numbers, as I was saying, 36 of them in here. One is a rooster. Most of them are Isa Browns that we got in November of 22. They came on to laying in about 4 months, the Isa Browns did. And then I got about 10 birds spring of 23. So that's where like these other, the mixed breeds that aren't Isa Browns, they came in this group of 10 spring of this year, and we bought them as pullets. So pullets are young hens that aren't laying yet, but we bought them specifically as young pullets at the point of lay, meaning basically when we got them, they would be laying anytime soon in the near future. So, you know, that included the leghorns, this black hen, which I think is an Orpington. I could be wrong. If y'all have a different feedback on that, please let me know. I love to hear your feedback. So that group of 10 included those two, included the two light ones like this, included the beautiful little gray one that I really like, and I think that was about it. And then this lavender Orpington, I'm thinking she's probably about 4 years old. She's definitely the oldest hen in the pen, and her eggs are still fine, and she lays eggs consistently about every day. So this poor little gal is getting picked on. So anyway, so a couple of them in molt. Overall, the flock is doing great. We are into fall now, about a month into fall, and so we probably are expecting to see some other ones come into molt. You know, I didn't count how many eggs we got today. We did fill the egg basket, so it's at least 2 dozen. We had eggs in every box, and we get a lot of eggs down there. And then I'll even show you a peek back here. We get, well, and there's one back there. You won't maybe be able to see it, but they like to go back there and lay some eggs. And we leave that door propped open there with a bungee because our gals can get out the front to a run and out the side to a run. And sometimes at evening we'll let them out into the yard. We'll let them out of that front run into the yard. But we know we have foxes. We know we have bobcats. And of course, everybody has the overhead predators to be concerned with when they have chicken flocks, like hawks. You know, we have eagles actually too within a half mile of us. An eagle, woo, an eagle nesting site. So we definitely have some overhead threats too. So in general, we keep them in, but sometimes we'll let them out, you know, where they'll get like an hour and a half maybe before dusk, and then at dusk they'll come in. So if we're going to be out here close to them, we can let them out, and they like to get out in the grass and forage a little bit. And we do keep a red light on because this side run going out that little peak hole, there's no overhead outdoors in that run. It's a narrow run, but there's no overhead barrier. So that is, and we don't close that up at night. So that's essentially open. So we have red, and so far it's bared out accurately that if you have a red light in your hen house, small predators like mink and weasels won't come into your hen house. So far that's worked out for us. So we do keep a red light on in here all the time. So that's our little girls, our little egg production flock for now here in October of 2023. And as I said, they're laying well, at least 2 dozen a day. We sell them to people, and we also operate some of that sales on egg subscriptions where we sell like futures on eggs by the dozen. So we sell 26 dozen at a time and guarantee the customer a dozen a week. And so that's worked out pretty good. You have to kind of work out your communication in your system with that. And our egg subscriber customers are super good to work with, and I really appreciate them. So we do egg subscriptions. So that's a way you could sell eggs if you're getting into that. Add that to your sales program. So thanks for joining us. Put any questions or comments you have down there, and we love to read your feedback. And please subscribe to our channel if you haven't. We are trying to grow it to over 1,000 subscribers. We do a lot of videos on poultry production involving meat birds, specifically Cornish rock cross meat chickens, because we have a small commercial poultry production operation. But we try to include some other farm projects and household happenings as well on our channel. So God bless y'all. May all your chicken dinners be winners, and eggs are a great source of protein and choline any old time. So source your food local, source it natural, and join us again here at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Thanks so much.